All right, good morning. We're the 29th of October, 2023. One of my hunting tools. I don't go hunting that much, but I like to prepare for hunting. I actually like to do that more than I like to hunt. I like to practice my bow after I, get up and shake the cobwebs out in the morning. I like to go out in the woods and look at my different places, but I'd say I prepare 20 times more than I actually hunt. And sometimes when I do have a deer coming in and I know that there's a good likelihood that I can shoot one, I'll say, well, I don't really want to shoot one. If I do shoot the deer, I'm going to have to clean it and all that, and I'm not hungry, and that's my attitude about it. But I still like to prepare. I like to shoot my bow, and I like to prepare. Now, I'm going to suggest that that is primarily because I'm an older man. And I was thinking this morning, hunting honestly is a sport of the young people. It would be that way in a primitive society. The old men would go hunting every now and then, maybe if they had a really good spot, but mostly they would make bows and arrows. I'm guessing, I haven't been in a primitive society. Make arrowheads, tell stories, talk about their spiritual things, whatever tribe that was, give advice to the younger people about, hey, back in a certain time, we found a lot of deer back over there this time of year. And essentially do other things, mostly be mentors to the young people and educators. So that's kind of what my life is morphing into now. I don't hunt much. I've probably been in a stand 4 or 5 times so far. And now rifle season has started. A friend of mine yesterday, who's a good bit older than me, came around to see me. He has 300 acres of prime deer territory. And I said, is anybody hunting on your land? And he said, no, you are. So he gave me permission, exclusive permission to hunt. I don't have time to do that. I don't even have time to hunt the places I have now. But my job is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's the way I look at it. And I like to film these things. I like to do the preparation. I'm going to shoot my bow here in a few minutes, and I'm going to then, use that as a springboard to talk about Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus. Now, Jesus is, in my opinion, God Almighty. God's Son, part of the Godhead. I don't even try to explain it anymore. But Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. I believe that to be true. I believe it to the extent that I'm out here spending my last years, my twilight years, doing the things I have to do around the farm, but I'm also telling people I'm the older tribal guy now, and to tell the young people what I know about life. Now, Jesus said, I am the way. He said he's the only way, the way. I am the truth, and I am the life. My study of the Bible tells me that life is a struggle between light and dark, good and evil, those that are going to move on to another dimension, and those who love darkness more and that are not going to move on to that other dimension. I don't know what's going to happen to them. That's not my problem. I tend to not believe in the typical stories of jumping around on hot coals for eternity and that sort of thing. But then again, honestly, I don't know. I know that I don't know that either, but I feel like that they're going to get further and further away from God if they're doing anything in the afterlife. I would like you guys out there, you young hunters, to realize I've been through a lot. I've hunted, I've done my thing. I've hunted bow and arrow since I was 14 years old. I've killed deer with the recurve, with the longbow. I've hunted atlatl. I've killed a lot of hogs with the atlatl. I've been in the, you might say, back in the early part of the beginning of the traditional archery movement. I hunted a hunt where Fred Bear was present one time on St. Vincent Island, Florida. I hunted 1 week after Howard Hill hunted at a particular place down here in South Georgia. I didn't meet him, but he was there. I didn't meet Fred Bear on St. Vincent Island is where it was, but he was there that day. He was hunting, making an appearance, probably making a film. So I go pretty far back into the mid-60s with the archery movement. So I might have a thing or two to say about it. I remember when compound bows came into existence. I remember the old timers that were older than me said, oh, it's a confound, like confound it. But many of those guys actually switched to the compound bow not long after that. I remember a lot of things about archery, but I've already done that. I don't have to prove that I can kill a deer with a bow and arrow. I've already done it. And I remember when there was no archery season in Georgia. Remember, there was no deer. There really were, but they were so few, nobody knew. I remember when I saw the first deer track. We were amazed. Somebody's goats have gotten out, we thought. And we got to looking closer, and that's not a goat track. That was back in the mid-60s. And I remember when they opened the season. And then now, you know, the deer are everywhere now. And yeah, we do need to hunt them. We need to keep the herd healthy by doing that. And we need to enjoy our youth as hunters, the young people out there. You're a lot more spry, you know. People climbed up tree stands and did all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not feeling like falling even from a 10-foot ladder stand now. I have to watch out, you know. And so just basically don't have as much energy as we used to, but we're still useful. The older people are still useful. So I'll talk to you about that kind of stuff, and I'll tell you about Jesus Christ in my videos. Jesus said that he wanted us, that would be the believers and the followers, to declare my name before men, and he said he would declare our name before the Father. So that Jesus then is our older person, you know, that's advising us, you know, as we transition from this earth into another life. If you don't know that much about Jesus, you can read about him in the Bible, in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And you can read firsthand accounts of what it was. I'd love to see you do that. Do some other reading too. Read about the early archers. Read about Howard Hill and Fred Bear and the other guys that were out there doing this as pioneers. Art Young and Saxon Pope, they go way back into the 20s, into the archery business. And read about Robin Hood, all those guys back then. Read about the Battle of Agincourt. That goes back into the 1500s, the last great longbow battle in the world, big longbow battle. You'll love it. Okay, now what I'm doing this morning is, this is my archery practice area, but Debbie, who is my camera woman and my constant helper and companion, pointed out, hey, that looks like a good place for a blind. Well, this is right here. So I'm going to put a little blind in there, and I'm going to have that as a place to sit and practice and shoot, you know, as if I were hunting in the woods. I may not get to the woods, okay? And I may get to the woods. I got 2 feeders out right now, or 1 actually, and I go by and put corn out. We're seeing turkeys there now. Put up a camera yesterday at one of my feeders, and doe and a spiked buck came in. Well, the buck, the little spiked buck, was just about daylight. If I had been there, shoot, I could have shot him. Then the turkeys came in. The doe was in the middle of the night. But I'm not going to rush out there. I'm not caring about killing a deer right now. I'm going to get more out of this. I kind of like it that they're out there, you know, and just having a good life. When I get hungry, I'll take care of business. If I get very hungry, it's not going to be with a bow. It's going to be with a 243 or a shotgun. So anyway, here's my blind that I'm building, and I'm not going to bore you anymore with the details, but some of my videos will be from this little blind that I'm building, and all I'm doing is I'm cutting away so I'll have a place to sit in there, and then I will make a couple of shooting holes out this way, which is where my pig target is, and it'll give me a good bit of practice shooting from a blind, in the woods. But I'm abandoning my idea of sitting on the ground. I got 2 reasons. One, I can't do it anymore for very long. My knees hurt and all. And another reason is we both got eaten up by some kind of bug yesterday when we were out messing with our feeder. And it wasn't real bad, but I probably got close to 100 bites. Back, waistband. It's not chiggers, but it's something that we get around here from time to time. Mostly, I think, this time of year. And we neglected to spray ourselves down a little bit. But we already did that. That's the first thing we need to do is spray ourselves down with some kind of repellent. Spray your waist a little bit, rub some on your hand, rub it on the skin, under your pants, around every place where they can get in, around your wrists, around your neck, around your feet and ankles, and you won't get these things. But we didn't do it yesterday. That's one of the reasons I don't want to sit on the ground. There's buggies down there. But what I am sitting in, now I did my 5-gallon bucket video the other day, which is doing very well. 5-gallon bucket's a great thing to sit on. Now I'm going to show you something here. I'm not trying to tell you to buy one because it's expensive, but I did buy this chair last year. This is called a Chama chair. Okay? Now, if I can carry that in, it folds up, and to a blind that I have already made up, you can sit a long time in that chair right there, comfortably. Well, that's all I'm going to say for right now. I'd like to end it with the Lord's Prayer. I'd like you to say it with me. I'd like you to learn it. I'd like you to ponder on what it means. And then I will show you that, I don't know, it might be later today. I'll be shooting from this blind, and I'll be having fun. Honestly, more fun than if I shot a deer, just to shoot the bow, to feel the stretch in my muscles, to see the arrow fly, to enjoy the traditional hunting, even if I don't spend a lot of time hunting. All right, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.